Today, you're going to learn about the story of Flexiple, which is a company that connects companies with freelancers in the design and development space. A company that brings in $250,000 per month. However, this was not a straight linear process. As you're going to find out in this video, there were failed products and many lessons learned. And we have 3 takeaways from the co-founder Karthik, which we believe are incredibly valuable. More specifically in the video, we're going to go through what didn't work at the start and why they didn't automate straight away, how they built out their product, and how they now bring in 500,000 visitors per month through SEO. We'll take a look at the platform and, as I mentioned before, the invaluable insights. So stick around to the end. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel and then check out the description for our free guide to no-code tools and more information about our premium courses. Now, just so you get an idea about the platform before we talk about the story, here it is. And it's a very interesting design, one that really stands out with the fonts and the colors and the design in general. And it says it all here. Flexible is an invite-only network that helps mission-driven developers and designers collaborate with top companies to build great software products. And some stats: 6 million in payments to talent, 17,500 hours talent evaluation time, and 40,000 hours of customer time saved. And we can see at the top, we have a For Companies tab and a For Talent tab as well. So a product like this is about connecting companies and talent and finding the right people for the right jobs. And I'll leave a link in the description so you can check out their website some more. Now, back to the story. And Karthik explains that at first they spent $10,000 on sophisticated products that all just went into the bin. And from that lesson, they started to do some market research and they found out that freelancers wanted projects and companies wanted talent. And what's interesting is this: they started off with Google Sheets and manually went through the Google Sheets to match talent with jobs and companies. And they did this for the first $100,000 of revenue. And the key thing here is that they wanted to focus on the business to get the ball rolling before building out this sophisticated product, because they felt that they made a mistake in the past by building the product first and not focusing on what people were looking for. So after manually matching freelancers and companies, they started to implement Zapier, which they used to send out automated emails to freelancers. But they faced more bottlenecks, and from there, they built out a login for freelancers using Webflow and MemberStack. And we've mentioned this combination before in other videos where we talked about how to build an online course platform. So I'll leave a link to that video in the description. And I'll also leave a link to that direct course where we go through how to implement MemberStack and Webflow in the description too. But after this, the stack starts to get a little bit more complex. They start to use Airtable for the spreadsheets. They implemented Zapier more into the workflows. And they also moved over to Integromat. And then after that, they moved everything into Bubble. They found Bubble to be the all-in-one solution for them that really helps them just build out the product. And today, using these tools, they are now bringing in $3 million per year in revenue. But how did they find clients? Well, that's what we're going to talk about next. Karthik explains that he put a lot of effort into getting companies and freelancers, and first started with his personal network. Started on LinkedIn, but also sent emails to companies and freelancers who he thought could benefit from using Flexible. And this is a key point. He didn't just send cold emails out to just anyone. Instead, he did a lot of research on the person and sent very personalized emails. And through this process, he noted down what worked and what didn't. But Flexible soon hit a ceiling, because he realized that a lot of the customers that he wanted to reach were based in the US and Europe, and his network was mainly in India. So he started on the journey of SEO, search engine optimization. And this story is a great example, a great success story. He started by increasing the domain authority by writing guest posts on other websites. And when you do this, what happens is you link back to your website, and this is telling Google that people are linking back to your site. So it's one of interest. And then he targeted keywords that had high intent. So the type of keywords that people will use in Google in order to find the answers that Flexible would provide. And this worked. At the moment, they're bringing in 500,000 visitors per month through search engines. However, Karthik also notes that a lot of the revenue comes from repeat customers and referrals. So obviously this is a product that's working. So people are continuously using it and also recommending it to their friends and their business associates. Recently, they've become more active on Twitter and social media in general, and they're also exploring paid ads in order to bring in more revenue. Let's now talk about 3 takeaways. So you're going to want to stay for this because I think this is really valuable. The first one is this. Karthik says, my biggest advice to other non-tech founders is to build a solution that solves a problem first and then use tech to scale it. Never get someone to build features for the heck of it. Basically, think business model before tech. And this is a lesson he learned when he built a sophisticated product that didn't solve a problem, and then actually was manually connecting freelancers and companies through Google Sheets to prove that this business model worked, and then use tech in order to scale this. And then following on from that, he says, use tech to scale that particular solution. Don't start the other way. Don't build products that can scale and then test whether it actually solves a problem that you were initially trying to solve. Instead, use off-the-shelf solutions for as long as you can. So again, it can be quite tempting to think, how can I scale this right from the start, and what tech should I use? But as Karthik says here, build a product that actually solves the problem first. And then finally, he talks about no code. Even if you are a tech founder, no code allows you to build something simple, yet efficient and fast. You can focus on the business side of things and make revenue before investing it back into the product. So it can definitely help with the early success of your startup and create more successful startups in the market. So that is the successful story of Flexiple, who first started out with Google Sheets, manually connecting freelancers and companies, and then started to scale and automate the process and build out the product from there. I highly recommend you checking out the website just to learn a little bit more about what they offer and how they offer the product that they do. And then be sure to watch another one of our no-code success stories. Just click the link in the description and I'll leave a comment as well with the playlist. And then subscribe if you're new, because we're going to have more no-code success stories, more tutorials on how to use Webflow, Bubble, Glide, etc. And also other business ideas using no-code tools. And then one last favor, if you enjoyed this video, then please click that like button and then share it with a friend. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.